Whether it's the regular season or the off-season, we have you covered as we give you the best Tennessee Titans and NFL news and insight that a fan could ask for. You're watching the Titan Upload Network.
Watching the Power Hour with your hosts, Michael Bishop and Tyler Staggs.
The Power Hour's on the air, live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. I'm your host, Michael Bishop, and as always, thank you for joining us on this Monday evening. It has been too long, guys. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're going to say. Where have you been, Michael? What has been going on? You're normally on the Titan Upload Network, and, well, the thing is, structure and, of course, ideas are just part of the narrative that goes around there, and it's just one of those things where we just try some different things, and just with everything going on right now, especially just in terms of time and just effort and energy, I felt it was best suited to just step away from things for a little bit and just focus on a few projects. Of course, Tyler and I have been working on the BS report, and it's been pretty solid. I've been enjoying doing that with him, and we've been a little more free to kind of just talk about the way things we want to discuss and keep it that way. But that being said, this is my baby. And I really wanted to get back to fundamentals and get back to basics with everybody and discuss the things that I like discussing, especially in terms of football and Tennessee Titans football at that. And of course, let's be honest, there's not been a lot we can really be excited about in terms of just having something to just build energy and just have positivity rolling around. This has been a season of just turmoil. This has been a season of just frustration. And it looks like the Tennessee Titans are very well on their way to pulling out just another bad season and maybe a top 4, top 3 draft pick at that. So let's just get it to this point. The Titans are going to be in sell mode. That's without a doubt at this point. I have no doubt that this team is going to consistently find a way to try and sell off some assets and build through the draft. And that's what they need to be doing at this point. I think this team understands that it's a consistent building situation that they're going to find themselves in 2026. You can easily say that this year's lost. You can easily say there's just so many holes on this roster that you really don't even have any kind of perspective to just build anything positive to go away with from the season. I mean, what have we really seen other than just building, inconsistency, and a win that you could basically just say it was luck? Let's just call it what it is. Let's just say it was luck. And I think that's the most frustrating part. You don't want to admit it, but hell, here we are. But I'll tell you who else is here with me. By God, it's been a long time, but it's been a great time to get him back on the show. As always, my partner in crime, Tyler Staggs, joining us on the Power Hour. Tyler, damn it, it is good to be back, man.
It is good to be back. Hope you're doing well tonight. Running a few minutes late, but, I mean, obviously you know why that is, but I made it. So,
hey, better late than never. We're not going to hold anything against anybody. It's just good to be talking ball again. It's good to have just the energy, despite just a bad season, despite everything that's gone on. So let's waste no time. We've got a lot of ball to talk about, and we only got an hour to do it. So, Tyler, let's jump into the first segment if you're ready.
Let's do it.
Jumping into segment number 1, welcoming us back to the live streaming game. It is the Power Hour. I'm your host, Michael Bishop, joined by Tyler Staggs. And let's jump into segment 1 right now.
And here's the kick.
So let's talk about what we really need to talk about at this point. This is basically a build year for Cam Ward. Every quarterback situation comes into play. It comes out to where some guys are built and put into a better position to have success. Unfortunately, that's not Cam Ward's MO right now. This is basically throw him in the water, hope he swims. And I mean, Tyler, for the most part, he's paddling his arms, he's kicking his legs. I mean, he's getting somewhere at this point, but I mean, it just seems like you hope that there would be a little bit more urgency and a little more just kick to the curb kind of situation with his unfortunate disregard of just the entire situation that he's been thrown into. Head coach is now gone. Offensive coordinator has been shifted. Philosophy seems to have shifted, but let's just go from there. In the second half going into the NFL year, what needs to be the main focal point for Cam Ward?
I'll keep this one pretty simple. The second half of the season, I need to see him clean up the fumbles some. Um, and I mean, you could just say turnovers in general, but like I think the last interception that he threw was one where it was on fourth down, had to take a shot at the end zone. Like I'm not mad at that, and that was 2 games ago now. But overall, just seeing him take care of the ball a little bit better. He's a rookie. He's going to have his ups and downs. He's going to have his good and bad games. And let's be honest, it's not like this roster has a lot around him to support him. Like, whether that be from play calling or the times where he actually gets the ball where it needs to be. You have guys
Right.
dropping passes,
Right.
like little things like that. And even at times, the offensive line has played a little bit better, but then you also have times where you still have guys coming through free. And, it's just if he can keep building on what he's been doing, but clean up the turnover some, that's what I would want to see from the second half of the season. And turnovers are going to happen for a rookie. Like that, we've seen it before, but I would just like to see him hold on to the ball a little bit better when it comes to the fumbles.
Look, of course, when it comes to development coming into 2025, Brian Callahan's already been shown the door. Bo Hargreaves basically taking over play calling duties. Mike McCoy's basically driving the bus until they can find another suitor to actually get a better grip of the situation going on. So, I mean, at this point, Tyler, what really just concerns me is it's just you really hope that Cam's starting to get a little more grip of an NFL offense. The game's starting to slow down a little bit for him, but in terms it just hasn't. So, I mean, what do you think Mike McCoy needs to do to try and make life for his rookie quarterback a little bit easier, knowing that they've got another 8 games left on the schedule? But unfortunately, there's still a lot of questions and a lot of holes on the roster that still need to be addressed.
Yeah, and this one, I was actually talking to someone about it yesterday after the game. I think the biggest thing that they could do right now, for one, and I know we'll dive into this more later, go away from the gimmick plays because we are not a roster that needs to be running those right now. But two, when we start having positive plays on offense, let's run with that hurry up a little bit more. Like, get up to the line of scrimmage, get the call in quicker. Just simplify it that way. Let him get that rhythm. Let him build that confidence that way. And I think that's the biggest way that you can help him right now. And because we've seen it when they've gone to the no huddle and the hurry up, like he's been able to get it going a little bit more. So, and that's the thing with Mike McCoy, when he kind of took over, he was talking about players, not plays, this and that, like doing what works for the players, not necessarily what the system is. But yet, it seems like they don't consistently do that. And I don't understand why. Like, if you've seen and have data to back up that he's moving the ball better and having more success when you go into that hurry up, no huddle offense, why are you not running it more? Even the bootlegs and play action, you're having more success off of them. Why are you not running them more?
Yeah, and I agree with you right there. I mean, it's a consistent waste of energy. This team just doesn't have the skill set to where they need to get themselves in terms to try and just be competitive. And that's just what's frustrating to me at this point. I don't think that it's in the cards for this team that they can run these kind of gimmick plays because they don't have the horses in the stable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've just got some breaking news. So let's see what we've got going on. All right. So we have a trade.
Yep. I see it now as well.
So Draymond Jones is heading to the Ravens, and from what I'm hearing, the Titans will receive a conditional 5th rounder that could become a 4th rounder in exchange.
I mean, here's the thing, and I was going to wait to bring this point up until like our second segment, and I won't hit on all my points here, but kind of felt like this move was going to be coming the way he was balling out yesterday, and I'll leave it at that.
But here's the kicker on this one. It's apparently the Jets pick that Baltimore's in possession of. So if this one potentially does become a 4th round pick, it'll be a higher pick.
Ooh,
more than likely.
I like that. I wonder what the condition is to get it up to 4th round, though.
I would have to say, I mean, we'll have to wait and see what we get on the wire at this point. But my guess would be that they would have to possibly get in a position to win more games than they already have. So I'd say that it's potential. Maybe the Ravens have to get to X amount of wins in order for it to swap over to a 5th round pick. So
you mean now we have to start cheering for the Ratbirds?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, regardless, I'm not worried about the pick number at this point because Mike Borgonzi's already showed that he can find value in later rounds in the draft. And I mean, we've talked about this at length. So, I think it's a very deep draft, especially in certain positions. I think that it's just going to be one of these situations that we just continue to pay attention as it monitors throughout the entire year. I mean, it is what it is. They're going to end up with whatever they end up with. But at the end of the day, you need a guy that's going to be hitting on all cylinders in every situation to which you can find talent in every round. You're hoping your GM can consistently do that, something that we haven't had since John Robinson and basically Rand Carthon ran through the building.
Right.
So let's just go ahead and get a grade out of the way since we've had some breaking news. So, Tyler, let's just say that they do get a 4th round pick at the end of the day for it. What's your grade?
I mean, if they get a 4th round pick for Draymond Jones, especially it being the Jets pick, I'll give that one. I mean, I'm going to go in the A- range. I mean, probably could go a little bit higher than that because honestly, around a 5th round pick is what I probably expected for him. I'm just glad to see that it's not one of those where we have to be like, oh, we're giving up Draymond Jones and a 6th to get a conditional 5th.
Right. That's actually just a breath of fresh air. So I'm 100% in agreement with that. So, for me, I would go a B at this point. I hate giving up, a guy that's actually been doing well on our front defensive line, but I get it. We're having to just make some moves, and eventually Femi Oladejio is going to have a chance to come back after the bye week. So, you're going to want to plug and play him the rest of the way because you want to see what you got going forward, especially to try and evaluate the full roster in 2026. So, Jones did what he needed to do to get himself in a position to get traded into another situation. Unfortunately, the Ravens are kind of sitting in the same boat we are in terms of just bad defense. But, I think with the way things are going to go right now, the Titans position himself to add another pick into this draft, giving him 9 total. We'll see what the official number ends up at the end of tomorrow ends up like. But let's go ahead and hit on that a little bit too, because I am curious now that we've got a trade in the books. So defense seems to be one of the areas they're going to go for. Who do you think is going to be up next on the trade block? maybe as early as tomorrow.
Up next on the trade block, I I think Tony Pollard uh gets dealt somewhere. Um, I think we end up seeing. I mean, just with how many rumors have been swirling around and how much it's kind of gained traction over like the weekend, I don't really want to see it happen. But Tavondre Sweat, I mean, that's just a name that keeps popping up, and I
Yeah.
think it's probably going to end up happening. I mean, they've made it clear already, like with Jarvis Brownlee earlier this year, that they're not afraid to move on from a guy early on. I hope they get better compensation back than what they got for Brownlee if they do decide to move Sweat, but we'll see on that part.
And I mean, honestly, we talked about this on and off, over the last couple of weeks. I'm not so worried about Borgonzi looking for cornerback talent. That's something that he's specialized throughout his tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're good at finding talent at the quarterback position. Doesn't matter if it's the first round, doesn't matter if it's the seventh round. They find dogs. So, as frustrating as it is, because Brownlee could end up being something special, and I still think it was an intel kind of thing where I think that there's just some clashing that was going on behind closed doors where they had to make a move. I'm not speculating, but at the same time, it kind of felt that way, especially the way it just happened so quick. Because usually a trade that kind of comes down the pike that fast, there's bad blood somewhere.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't want to see Sweat go. Let's just be honest. That's just another massive hole they're going to have to try and fill, whether in free agency or through the draft. And I know they're going to have money in free agency. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But the thing is, you get so many guys that could be difference makers, especially at a position that they're in. And Sweat, to me, is just, I went to bat for this kid, and I'm still going to bat for this kid. I don't see it beneficial to this team letting him go, especially when we're trying to make life a little easier for Jeffrey Simmons. And let's just put it in this perspective. Sebastian Joseph Day is not a guarantee to come back next year.
Right.
He's a free agent as well. So you're going to have to find a replacement on that spot going forward.
And I just
don't see him shelling out money.
You bringing up Sebastian Joseph Day. Is he a guy that we potentially get traded? Because here's the thing. He had a good game against the Chargers.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's a free agent, so he could be a guy that the Titans are looking to maybe unload. And I'm like you. I don't want to see Sweat go. I think it makes life easier for Jeffrey Simmons when they're both out there. But, it obviously Bergonzi wants to get his type of guy in there. And if Sweat doesn't match that, okay, I don't like it, but I'm willing to give you time to build what you're looking for. And, other guys that, of course, we've thought as potential trade candidates for weeks now. Arden Key, but he hasn't been playing, so where's he at with injury? Calvin Ridley, I know like the reports have come out that they're apparently not really interested in dealing him, but I wouldn't be surprised. And we hit on this earlier when me and you were talking. Obviously, there's also Jeffrey Simmons, and I definitely don't want to see that move happen. I told you this earlier. I think a Jeffrey Simmons trade would be the only one where I am like really upset with the team.
And I'll take this into consideration as well. I just don't see a lot of teams trying to make that move that are willing to eat a lot of that contract as well. To
Right.
me, I think that's one thing that's going to scare teams off. I mean, I would also say the same thing for Calvin Ridley. I mean, unless you're a team that genuinely just needs a fill in wide receiver, kind of the situation that Green Bay's in, or maybe a Pittsburgh Steelers team that's looking to get a little more from a guy that could potentially just take some pressure off their main wide receivers, I could see that. But the realistic goal here is you're trying to just find value without having to give up a lot of money, especially if you're a team that's in contending mode. Now, another name I'm going to add to the talks that I think isn't getting a lot of traction because he really just hasn't done much anything to gain that traction. Chigakonkwo, contract
Hmm.
year. I think with Green Bay's situation right now, they're very much in the tight end market, especially after losing their stud. So, you know, I think that's going to be a situation to monitor as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned him because like I had blanked on him when you asked me about guys, but that situation up in Green Bay with Tucker Kraft going down, like that could absolutely end up being a landing spot for Chigo Conquo.
So tomorrow is definitely going to either be really stressful or it's going to be one of those situations where we're just, damn.
Well, and here's my thing, and I know Easton Freeze was kind of downplaying this a little bit, but I sent it to you where Buck Rising and them put out that Mike Bergonzi will meet with the media at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Like, I don't talking about right after the trade deadline. If he's scheduling to talk to the media at that time, I feel like more has to go down tomorrow. And like even with the trade going down right now with the Ravens, like you've got me over here refreshing X now trying to see if anything else is going to pop up.
I mean, in retrospect, we'll have to wait and see at this point. I mean, it could just be your standard, teams on a bye. So they're not going to really have a chance to talk to the media once this kind of goes on. So the Titans are in a good position, you know, in terms of just news. So I think I'm not going to try and just read into it too much because, we're not going to see the team or even a lot of the coaches in the building in terms of just these guys are getting away from everything. They need to get away. So if anybody needs a break from football, it's Tennessee Titans and Tennessee Titan football fans. That's
I
the
mean,
end of it. There's no discussion.
here's the thing, Michael. I'm not convinced that they've even like been engaged in football as far as the coaches aspect, except for maybe one or two of them with some of the play calls that we've been seeing. But sure, they need a break from it.
I mean, in terms of the players, I will go that far.
Right.
But good God, man. It's been too much. Just too much.
I
So
will say with the Draymond Jones trade, the only thing that sucks is we finally start having some production from pass rush, like in the pass rush aspect, and now you lose that. But at the same time, being a seller at the trade deadline, like that's what you want. You want the weeks leading up to the trade deadline, these guys to really ball out like that, so that you can get more in return.
well, that being said, before we go to our first break, do you have any other Tennessee Titan player? Well, let's go with this. Do you have any non-Tennessee Titan that's going to get traded and make massive news?
Mm, non Tennessee Titan. I think just because it's a name that I really saw popping up today, this afternoon, um, Minka Fitzpatrick. I think he's going to get dealt again.
Where is he going?
Ooh, I hadn't really thought that far. Um, who all needs safety help right now? I
I
mean,
mean, the Cincinnati Bengals kind of crossed my mind, but they need everything on defense.
yeah, and I mean the Cowboys need help on defense. Jerry Jones talking about a trade that's apparently done, but there's no news on it. So maybe Dallas.
Maybe, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they need more edge help. And I'm going to go Jeremiah Jones from the Jets. I think the Jets are definitely going to be in sell mode.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. We'll wait and see. There's
Oh yeah.
no rush. I mean, that's all we're going to be doing is talking trades anyway, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So don't think too much. Don't think too much about it. All right, guys, we'll take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, Titans, Chargers. Yeah, I guess we'll break it down.
If we have to.
Might as well. I mean, we put all this effort to come back. So quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Or we'll try to be back. I don't know.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from his favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage for real fans.
You're watching the Power Hour with your hosts, Michael Bishop and Tyler Staggs.
The Power Hour is on the air. Live streaming to you on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. I'm your host, Michael Bishop, and as always, thank you for joining us on this fine Monday evening. Damn, it feels good to be back. We were gone for a short time, but not a long time. Wasn't a good time.
No.
I can definitely tell you that, and my liver will attest to that. It has not been a good time. Because the Tennessee Titans are sitting 1-8, and the future looks like it's getting stripped apart, and we're pretty much just looking to the draft at this point, once again. So, rinse and repeat. But hey, you shouldn't be down. Thanks for watching us on the Titan Upload Network as well. So make sure you hit that follow button, give us a like, and of course, share the show because sharing is caring. And of course, make sure you follow and subscribe to the Titan Upload Network for all your Tennessee Titans and NFL football needs. Well, Tyler, what do you say we get into our second segment and break down this abysmal atrocity of a game?
Might as well.
Go ahead and jump into segment 2. That. Pretty much just that. I don't know where more I can start or even trying to make a reputable, funny, or just insightful discussion at this point. But yeah. Well, I guess I could make a very insightful point that the defense and special teams showed up.
That they did.
Can't say the same for the offense. Would like to say the offense showed up and did something, but unfortunately, I don't know what we're doing offensively and what we're doing play-wise. But hey, we've got a good stretch of the imagination to try and hit on that, so don't go anywhere. So let's just start with what we loved, Tyler. And I mean, there were some nice things to love about this game. Let's just be honest about it. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, and I see from your pick there, like you said, defense showed up, special teams showed up. So that had to be the things that we loved. And Jim DK finally getting his return touchdown. Like, he had one earlier in the year that got called back for a penalty. But then other times he's been, I mean, oh so close to getting that return touchdown. I still want to see him get a kick return touchdown this year. But finally, and here's the funny thing, Michael. When I was watching the game and I saw that punt by the Chargers, I literally said out loud to my wife, Carrie, I was like, I think DK can do something with this. Like, he's got room. Like, he's going to have a lot of room. And then everything just started lining up perfectly. And he takes it back for the touchdown. And I was losing my mind. I was like, what is this game right now? But so happy for DK.
I know. I mean, the kid deserves it. He's been putting in the work, and unfortunately, special teams, penalties, bad blocking has just consistently found ways to just kill the kid's momentum. But we finally got one through. Damn, that one felt good too.
It did.
So I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Jimmy DK is very much on his way to potentially get into a Pro Bowl this year, Tyler. I mean, is that too far-fetched?
I don't think it is. I mean, he leads the league in all-purpose yards right now, which, Grant, I got to thinking about this a little bit. There's another reason that he kind of leads the league in this. When opponents are scoring so much against the Titans, they're going to be kicking off more, which gives him more of a chance to get more yards. But when you're leading the league in all-purpose yards and you're doing what he's doing on special teams, like, that's got to be enough to get you a Pro Bowl in your rookie year, especially if he keeps going at the rate that he's going at, because, I mean, isn't he on pace to, like, break some records right now?
I mean, I'd have to look it up, but I mean, I'm telling you right now, the kid's absolutely just killing it just when it comes to returning. And, he's getting his receiving yards. I think it's just one of those situations to where he's going to get better as each week passes and he keeps getting his opportunities. But, I mean, he's getting there, man. I mean, I think it was Nate Washington that actually tweeted something that really got my attention and giving him a little bit of comparison to Percy Harvin. And I can see that. I can see a little bit of that. I don't think that's too far-fetched. I'm not calling him Percy Harvin, but I'm saying there's Percy Harvin, capability there.
Right.
Then, of course, getting to what I liked in the game, of course, Barton's pick six. I mean, let's just be honest. Cody Barton's been a bag of just mixed emotion. But I will say that he stepped up today. I really just enjoyed the fact that he went out there and finally just cashed in on a play. I hope it's the start of something that can continually grow because, he's been really kind of just one of those free agent acquisitions that Mike Bergonzi's just definitely been getting a little bit of flack about.
Yeah, and, you mentioned him making the play. I was just excited to finally to see him look like he finally wasn't running in quicksand anymore. Like, he jumped that route so quick that I honestly didn't think it was him. Like, I thought it was someone else that had already picked it off. So, but, shout out to him for stepping up and making a play.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just nice to have something positive that's actually going in the right direction. And it kind of just gave you a little bit of hope. Not a lot, but just a little. That this team was actually going to actually come out and compete against a Chargers team that was pretty beat down, especially on the front line. But I guess that's where we get to what we hated. So, Tyler, without any ado, let's just break down what fell apart.
We hit on it a little bit earlier. This gimmick play calling, when we are a bad roster And I'm just going to tell you, the thing that really irked me about all of the gimmick play calls is the fact of when we were running a normal offense, we were actually having a little bit of success in moving the ball. I'm not saying that we were, going crazy moving the ball, but we were having a little success.
I can agree with that.
And then we decided to throw in some of these gimmick plays. You have the flea flicker, which the flea flicker, okay, that's I'm not always mad at it, but seemed like it was a little rushed, and I would have to go back and watch the film, but someone said that if Cam had been looking downfield, he actually maybe had a touchdown on it. But for me, more of the gimmick play calling was from going with the Wildcat formation 3 times in this game. Okay, the first time you run it, all right, is what it is. You think maybe you've seen on film where maybe you can get them with it, whatever. But you get a hold call on it, which already that's going to move you back from it being a 3rd and 1. But even if there wasn't a hold, Tony Pollard wasn't picking up that first down. And I actually, I wrote these down here. So they ran that first one in the second quarter at their own 44-yard line while being up 14-10. So again, I don't really know that that's the time to pull out some of these gimmick plays, like just your 3rd and 1, line up and run it. Like don't get fancy with it. And you end up going from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 16, and everything just falls apart. But then this is where it really started irritating me. You get to 3rd and goal at the Chargers' 1-yard line. You're down 3 points at this time in the 3rd quarter, about halfway through the 3rd quarter. Why are you getting cute right here? Why are you running the Wildcat? You don't have Derrick Henry back there anymore. Like, okay, if you have Derrick Henry back there, a 250-pound running back, sure, go for it. I can be fine with it at that point. But when you have Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, Pollard got that direct snap, and he gets taken down by safeties on it. Like, no, you're at the 1-yard line. If anything, I'm lining up and running QB sneak twice in a row. Stop it. See if you can stop it. Versus running the Wildcat, because then you have Tony Pollard 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage waiting for the snap. Why? And then I guess they thought 3rd time was going to be the charm. You're down 10, 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. You're at their 19-yard line. You know you need 2 scores. And I guess they thought, oh, well, we need a field goal anyway at some point. But just run a normal offense at that point. They've already bottled you up twice on Wildcat. I don't care that you put Tajay Spears back there this time and that he's more shifty. They've had it bottled up. Just, if you're going to let Spears run it, just hand the ball off to him. Like, make the defense think that you could at least maybe pull play action. If it's just a direct snap to Spears, they're not worried about that.
Let's take this into consideration. The one quarterback sneak that they've run this entire season, on a 4th and 1, they got it.
Right.
Those are situations I need to see Cam Ward in to help him grow as a quarterback. That's not just little things here, crap. I'm just telling you, you have to consistently get him into plays like this to get him to understand what it takes to play at this level of football. I need more of that. Give the kid the opportunity. If they could have quarterback snuck it, they should have. Put a big package in. Hell, put Sweat in the middle and let him push him. I don't care. If we're doing the push, I mean, for God's sakes, let's just start doing it before it becomes illegal.
Oh. and look, here's the other thing. At least when we had Derrick Henry to run the Wildcat, he threw out of it a couple of times. So the defense at that point does have to have maybe just a little bit of hesitation that, he might throw it on them. But again, with Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears back there, they're not worried about that. They are focusing in on the run, and they are just going to bottle it up. And I just don't understand why we are getting cute in those moments and trying to run that. And then when he's being asked about it, Mike McCoy is just like, what was the thoughts behind that? Well, we ran it some this week in practice. Okay. Like, I don't care that you ran it in. Yeah, I don't care that you ran it in practice. After the first 2 times of it not working, maybe don't go back to it that third time.
I mean, I'm just going to say it how it is. Bo Hargrave to me is just a fraud. An offense shouldn't be this inept in terms of just growth. And this is the one thing that really frustrates me with him and Cam Ward. It's just Cam Ward is just not growing the way he needs to grow as an NFL quarterback. And that pisses me off because we've seen his skill set. We know what he's capable of. I mean, call me crazy, but I mean, hell, I would feel better at this point if Brian Callahan was out there still calling plays. At least they scored. Shout out to Al for joining the show. Good seeing you, Al. We missed you. No, there hasn't been much to cheer about, but good seeing you as well. And I agree. Go with the QB sneak. Hell, I would have been happy if they put Sweat in the backfield to punch it in. At least that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still of the mindset of, if you're down at the 1 yard line, you run QB sneak twice. Like at that point, if they bottle it up twice and stop you, okay. But it's a little bit different when you run Wildcat one time and then follow it up with the handoff. Like if it was going to be 2 down territory anyway, and you knew that your second play was going to be a handoff, just hand it off on 3rd down as well.
I mean, just stop all in general with the Wildcat. Stop the flea flickers. It doesn't work. You're asking too much of a rookie class, and that's what it is. Your 2 main wideouts are rookies. Your quarterback's a rookie. Your tight end, that's apparently going to be your tight end 1, is a rookie right now. This gimmick stuff's not going to work. They're still adjusting to the game. And of course, when we talk about gimmicky play calling, I also have to attribute the sacks within the situation. The offensive line within those 4 sacks just looked abysmal. They didn't look like they know who they were supposed to block. How is it we keep getting a free safety or a stunt linebacker to just cut through the middle without anybody even realizing what just happened? And I've been praising Dan Moore, and then he comes out and just sucks. God, I don't want to see Cam Ward get this damn sack record with 8 games left. I don't.
Right.
A guy can
right
get planted, so a guy can only get planted for so long till you can't take anymore.
Right. And I just want to say, while we're on the subject of what we hated, there's 2 more things that I have to throw in here. Number 1, the previous 2 games before this game against the Chargers, they were getting DK so involved in the offense. And then this game comes up and hardly anything in the offense.
Yeah.
And also, Gunnar Helm. Why are we waiting until the fourth quarter to get him involved? Like, it's not rocket science. Again, it comes back to the players, not plays. Here's the thing. You have all of these other teams that have their top guys. And I'm not saying that DK is the equivalent of one of these top guys, that Gunnar Helm is the equivalent of one of these top guys, as far as if you put them on those teams, they would do what those guys are doing. But in the aspect of on the Titans, you have two playmakers that have been showing up over the last couple of weeks in the offense. Why are you not figuring out a way to get them the ball early and often? You see it like earlier this year with the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, before he got hurt, and of course now that he's back, you're probably still going to see it. A top 5 wide receiver in the league. Teams know to game plan for CeeDee Lamb, but yet somehow the Cowboys still get him the ball early and often and let him make plays. So why are we not doing that with the guy that's been going off the last 2 weeks before this game for us with DK?
And this is why it just shows why Mike McCoy is not a serious contender for the head coach in 2026. I can't trust the guy. I just can't trust his situational football that he's put this team in the last few weeks. And it's almost like he shirks the responsibility of the play calling when something bad does come up, like the last 2 weeks has. It's just they're playing afraid. Try and sell PSLs with that. I don't see Titans fans running out and getting in line for Mike McCoy. At this point, I don't even want him to get an interview. I don't.
No, I mean, he doesn't deserve one.
Not at all. Not at this point. Let's move on and hit to the surprise part of the show. So, got to admit, the defensive line looked good.
They did, and I had to put this in there. I kind of hit on it a little bit earlier, but didn't want to get into it too much. But the trade deadline coming up, part of me has to wonder how many of these guys were motivated and thought, hey, if I can go out and put out a good performance rushing the passer right here, I could potentially get shipped off. And because you had Jahad Ward, 2.5 sacks, Draymond Jones, 1.5 sacks. Cedric Gray got back there for a sack. Sebastian Joseph Day, and they were getting pressure, had 11 quarterback hits. And they were getting pressure, and I didn't really expect this from a defensive line that was missing Jeffrey Simmons. So,
absolutely. I mean, this was a defensive line that balled out and had a solid day. Of course, on my end, I got to go with a failed red zone trip. I mean, the fact that they drove down the length of the field, missed completely on an opportunity to keep this game could have been tied. We could have had it going into overtime. Just to have the Chargers take it from the 1 and go the whole length of the field and score a touchdown and basically kill all the momentum that was built over the day. That entire drive was basically just a punch in the stomach to every fan that had to sit up there and once again watch his team fall apart after missing on another opportunity. So that's all I'll say about that. And of course, going with the players of the game, I mean, of course, I would agree with you definitely. Jimmy DK had himself a day, hand him the game ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've already hit on him. The punt return touchdown finally ends that cold streak of not having one for however many years it was. And again, just would have liked to have seen him more involved in the offense.
And of course, I'll go on the opposite side. Jihad Ward had a very solid game, 2.5 sacks, tackle for loss. I hate to see him go if he goes, Tyler, because, I mean, you got to have some kind of depth on that defensive line. I mean, I think Arden Key's more likely to go than Jihad right now, but, we'll see what happens tomorrow. And, of course, to close it out, Mike McCoy talked to the press after the game yesterday about the potential play calling that went on as of the
Part of game planning. I think as the offensive staff, when you go look at a game plan, how you're going to attack a certain opponent, there's certain things you always put in. And so when the staff put the plan together, they had a lot of, they thought this was the best thing to do. So,
What did you feel?
So, word sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, everything being said and all, the Titans head to their bye week, which is very much needed, not only for the team, but for the fan base as well, to get a break from just all the winning that we've been doing lately, because I just can't stand it anymore. So, Hey, just nice to catch our breath.
Michael, I do have to ask, how big of underdogs are we against the bye week?
I'm not good. This is like such the underplayed discussion point. How bad are we going to lose to the bye week? I don't care about the bye week. You know what I'm going to be doing on the bye week? I'm probably going to take my wife out to dinner, play with my kids, and not think about football. Maybe I'll tune in to see some of the games of interest. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of Sunday Night Football. I don't give a damn at this point. I'm walking away for the week. I am not worried about it. When we get back and face the Texans, which I'm sure that's our next matchup, we'll go from there. In fact, I don't even have to do roundtable. I don't even have to do roundtable, so I don't have to worry about a thing this week. But I'll tell you what we need to start worrying about, finding the right head coach for 2026. We're going to talk about our decision and why, of course, I think Tyler's with me. We're sticking to this. We're dying on this hill. So quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back after this.
Watching the Power Hour with your hosts, Michael Bishop and Tyler Staggs.
The Power Hour is on the air. Live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Michael Bishop, and as always, thank you for joining us on this fine Monday evening. Join me, as always, my co-host and partner in crime, Tyler Staggs. Thank you so much for joining us once again. It is great to be back. I promise you we had just a lot of things that we were working through. And, of course, trying a few different things this season. We're still going to try and get the BS report out every week. I think we'll try, if life doesn't try and just push us around. But we're glad to be here tonight with you on Monday because this is our bread and butter. This is our cup of tea. This is our crew de blah, or whatever the hell you want to call it. So, as always, shout out to you guys for making the show possible. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share the Power Hour. And, of course, join the Titan Upload Network where you get all your Tennessee Titans and NFL football, regardless of where you're trying to get it. We're ball 24/7, 365, or at least as much as the budget will let us do. Tyler, it's been a while since we've done closing time, so
It has.
I'm ready for this one. I have been just chomping at the bit to get at this one. So, Tennessee Titans heading into 2026 soon, but of course, the biggest question will be who will take the reins as head coach. I'm dying on this hill. Maybe Tyler will die on this hill with me. Let's hit the damn music.
Closing time.
Good night, losers.
So hear us out. Doesn't matter because you're going to hear me out because I'm putting this on the table. I'm dying on this hill. Tyler and I I think we're pretty much in agreement that I think that this is the best direction for the Tennessee Titans. So, Tyler, as I always am, gracious to make sure that your voice is very much respected and heard on the show, you have the floor first.
Yeah, Michael, I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to hit on a couple of points, just a couple, because I really want you to hammer this point home. Because like you said, me and you, this is something that we've talked about. We are pretty much in agreement for it. One thing the Titans for sure need. They need an experienced guy that can, just bring that consistency to the team. Make sure I point the right way. This guy right here helped in developing Aaron Rodgers early in his career. Rodgers had things he needed to work on. Granted, I know Rodgers got to sit for a couple of years, but Mike McCarthy helped him through it all. He's a coach that knows winning. He's won a Super Bowl. Helped Dak Prescott. And Michael, I'm not going to take all of your points. Hopefully I didn't anyway. I'll let you take the floor now.
Yeah, so I'll keep it as sweet and short as I can. What has the Tennessee Titans lacked since Mike Vrabel left?
Culture.
Believe it or not, Mike McCarthy's pretty damn good at building culture. And I've done my homework. He did it at Green Bay. He did it at Dallas. And let me just tell you something. For those people that are going to come at me and try and say, at Dallas he didn't do anything, and I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me your sources, well, you talk to the fans. Allow me to retort. Are you really going to believe what Dallas Cowboy fans have to say? This is it's our year every year as much as time continues to go. This is the group that continues to say that. And I'm not trying to throw shade at that. I'm just calling it is what it is. See, you come with feelings. I come with stats. I come with a guy that's had a slew of successful seasons, that has basically gone and had success at each of his stints, that has helped develop Aaron Rodgers, that got some of the best years out of Dak Prescott since Prescott's been playing ball, has a pretty good eye for talent, pretty good at finding defensive coordinators. John Fossil's his best friend, and John Fossil's already here. So why do I need to worry about bringing in another special teams coordinator? Is it a sexy pick? No. Is he young and upcoming? No. Is he Robert Saleh and Mike McDaniel? Shut up with that. Stop trying to sell me defensive coordinators. Yes, I know defensive coordinators have had the most success as head coaches within this franchise, but guess what? A defensive coordinator is practically just going to take the helm of the ship and basically just drive us to wherever we need to go until we have to find a new offensive coordinator. Because let's be honest, if Mike McDaniel sits here, he's not going to stay. He's going to take that opportunity to be a head coach elsewhere. That's what offensive coordinators do up until the point where they realize they're not good head coaches, via Josh McDaniels. So let's just get that clear and out of the way. And for you John Gruden fans, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I'm not talking about it. It's not a real thing. John Gruden hasn't done anything relevant in football since 2007. And the Super Bowl that he won was because he took over a Tony Dungy built team. I'm giving you a real pick here, and I'm going with my gut on this. When the Tennessee Titans had an opportunity to get Andy Reid, I screamed at the top of my lungs, get him no matter what. He ended up with Kansas City. How's that working out? I begged that Jim Harbaugh got a look when he was out on the coaching market coming back from Michigan. I'm not going to say everything's going great and great in with the Chargers right now, but they're on their way to being better. Even with all the entries that they have a culture, they have stability. That's what Jim Harbaugh does. Do we really want to trust this team in the hands of another young and upcoming coordinator? I mean, I love Joe Brady. I think Joe Brady's got an amazing opportunity to fall in the right position and be a good head coach. Same with Jesse Minka, you know, of the Chargers. I think he's got a great opportunity there. But the Titans need somebody that has veteran appeal, that has experience, and that's done this. And he's done it twice in his career. Some of the best coaches, there's been some great head coaches that have had 3 stints at other stops and found success. Chuck Knox, Marty Schottenheimer, Bill Parcells, all older coaches that have had different stints at different areas and were successful there. There's a lot to like about this job, and I know there's more jobs to follow through as the season progresses, but Tennessee's got a lot of nice pieces here that you can build on, and Mike Bergonzi's got a pretty good reputation as a young and upcoming GM, and his first draft right now is kinda helping that sell the point forward in 2026. If Amy can control her better instinct and just let her football people do their football jobs, I promise you, this is a head coaching hire that I not only heavily endorse, but I know can get this team on the right track because he has the intangibles, he has the experience, he has the wherewithal, and he knows how to hire coaches. That's all I need. I need consistency. Mike McCarthy brings that. And with that being said, let's just hope we can get through these next 8 games. I mean, before we call it a night, Tyler, I mean, what's your expectation for the rest of the 2025 season? I mean, there's 8 games to go. What do you hope to see within those 8?
I mean, I'll keep it as the same thing that I've been wanting to see, and that's just I need to see these young guys with some type of good development. Like I need to see Cam and Io Manor and DK and Helm continuing to build that chemistry between them. I mean, that's the main thing I care about now is just the development of these young guys for the rest of the year and hoping that this current coaching staff doesn't screw them up. But that's all I really care about. I mean, as a fan, do I want to see them win games? Yeah, because me and you've talked about this before. It's hard getting on here and talking about the team loss after loss after loss. Like it wears on you. There's really no fun to talk about.
The last 4 years have been frustrating.
Yeah. And I think the other I tell myself every week I'm not going to get mad if they lose, but then like this game against the Chargers, they find a way to be in it, and they're like 1 or 2 plays away from winning the game, and I'm mad at the team because I'm like, if you didn't do this stupid play call right here, like we potentially win, but when it all boils down to it, all I care is about the development of these younger guys.
And I'm 100% agreeance with that. I mean, I said it on the round table a few weeks ago. Mike McCoy's just driving the bus to get it back to the station. I don't expect this team to win. If they win a couple of games, so be it. We'll just take it for what it is. Is it going to hurt their draft position? It's yet to be determined. And I mean, that's just old conversation that we could have for another show. But the whole prospect is I need to see Cam Ward grow into the quarterback we need him to be. The talent's there, the work ability is there, the hunger's there, but I know he's not going to do it with Mike McCoy. He's not going to do it with Bo Hardegrave. He's not going to do it with Holtz. It's just not going to happen. Mike McCarthy, I can breathe a sigh of relief and know that he's going to be in good hands. But at least for these next 8 games, I just want to see him to air it out. Take your shots. Continue to do what you got to do. Technique, footwork, when we get the right coaching staff in here, that's going to be worked on. That's going to be just day one stuff. But for right now, just do what you got to do. Protect the ball, throw it down the field, get your young guys involved, keep getting in the film room and just do what you're doing. I mean, I don't know how this is going to end in the next 8 weeks. I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know how this team's going to progress. They could win every damn one of these games going forward. They could lose every one of them. I don't know. All I know is that Cam Ward is the future of this franchise, and we have to do him, and it is of the utmost importance to get him what he needs to be successful. Whether it's playmakers, whether it's an offensive line, whether it's a coaching staff that knows what the hell that they're doing and not afraid to make the right calls. That's what we need to do going forward. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for watching us on the Power Hour. We love you. We mean it. And, of course, shout out to you for making the show a rousing success. I just feel the energy and the love in the room, and it's just making me so happy that we just did this. Maybe we'll keep this going. Maybe not next week because we won't have anything to talk about. So we'll keep that on our minds. But regardless, shout out to everybody that showed up and watched the show. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and, of course, subscribe and share the show out before you go. Shout out to the Titan Upload Network as well. Make sure you follow the network. They continue to give us great information and insight. Yeah, we're still part of the network, but we're kind of just on our own channel doing our own thing right now, which that's cool. Maybe we'll get up together and just do a watch party one of these days, but make sure you show those guys love as well. So thanks for joining us once again. We'll probably be back in a couple of weeks to talk about other football going on. And of course, shout out to the Roundtable guys as well. Make sure you give them a follow. But of course, it's just nice to have the bye week, and it's nice to just get away from everything that's been going on. It's been a stressful season. I mean, it's been a stressful 4 years. There's nothing we've had to just have anything to just be positive about, except just hope and the concept of hope.
Yeah.
I can only just really, and I say this without any pun intended, I can only hope that we can just legitimately have something that formulates into long-term success. I mean, it's not fun being the punching bag. It's more fun when you're out there to compete and actually win and brag a little bit. Because damn it, I'm tired of not having anything to brag about except for the fact that we're not putting out memes. So we'll just see what happens. I won't say don't get your hopes up or keep your expectations low, but at the same time, for the last 4 years, I won't give you any false hope either. So
Right.
shout out to everybody that showed up tonight. Al, good seeing you. We love you. We mean it. Just take good care of yourself. So Tyler, anything final to add before we shut down?
I think you hit it all.
No, you just don't want to say anything. So let's just keep it at that. So damn lazy. I got to do everything around
Oh,
here.
man. Hey, bye-week vibes, man. Bye-week vibes.
Oh, you're just trying to get on vacation. That's what it is. So selfish. Well, that'll do it for us. I'm Michael Bishop. Join me with Tyler Staggs of the Power Hour. So thank you for joining us on tonight's show. We're out of here. Have a great bye week. Enjoy your time with your family. Get away from the ball. Get away from the bottle. And of course, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And as always, Take care and tighten up.
Tighten up.
You're watching the Titan Upload